Okay, well, we're moving on with that, right?
So we need stress-free, which is what Tony is here for.
Stress-free retirement. That's what we're looking for.
I can dream and look forward to that now, Tony, just to get through all the fun things.
Tony even wrote a book about it, right?
He did,
How to have a happy and stress-free retirement. Tell us about the book and why you wrote the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I've been in this industry for 30 years. And I used to give out other people's books.
Okay.
And there was always like something in there that wasn't quite right. And I was like, I really need to write my own book so that what I give out really represents the kind of work that we do. So that's kind of where it started, and this is the result.
And it is the result. So what can people expect if they do meet with you and they kind of learn your methods to have that safe and stress-free retirement that you talk about?
Yeah, so we have a process that we take people through. Usually the first meeting, we're just getting to know each other and gathering data, finding out what their goals are and their concerns. And most people have concerns heading into retirement. And then from there, if it makes sense, we'll do another meeting. In between the first and second, we do a little assessment, try to figure out what would be right for this individual, because everything's got to be customized.
Right.
And then on that second meeting, we'll share some ideas and strategies and see, at the end of that meeting, you figure out, well, is this for me? Is because there's multiple ways to do it, and we're not the only solution, but we have been doing this for a long time.
So, Tony, you want it to be as stress-free as possible retirement, but there can be some pitfalls. What are some that you outline in the book?
Yeah, so one big pitfall is a lot of advisors are accumulation focused, and so they kind of take their accumulation focus over to this thing called income, and it doesn't always match up very well, because when you're trying to get the maximum rate of return, you have a lot of volatility, right? Ups and downs. And if you're trying to take money out and the market's doing this, you can run out of money, and that's the big risk, right?
And people don't necessarily think about that until, would you say, too late? Or are people kind of getting ahead of it because they have this knowledge from you?
Well, if we get to them in time, sure. But it doesn't have to be something that's, in fact, what we specialize in is people who are getting close.
Yeah.
That 3 months to 3 years.
Not quite that close, but I'm getting close. Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's good. Yeah, so if you're within 3 years to, 3 months to 3 years, that's close. And you're starting to figure, how am I going to make this transition? What do I do with what I have? How do I turn that into an income stream? What do I do about Medicare? What do I do about Social Security? There's all these questions that come at us at that time of life, and that's really where we focus, is to help walk people through that so it's not so stressful.
Yeah, it's a big help for folks too that maybe they've been saving and planning their entire life, but once it gets to that point, it can be pretty overwhelming, and you break down a little bit of that in the book, right?
Oh yeah, we get into a lot of it, a lot of detail on that, even the psychology of leaving a 30, 40-year position, that is really makes up your identity too, especially for us guys, a lot of times. So, leaving that behind and trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do next in my next chapter? That's just stressful, for a lot of people. And so you certainly don't need financial stress on top of that. If we can make that financial burden less, where we have more of a sure thing, and some income that we can count on, that's, for a lot of people, that's a godsend.
I think there's a lot of couples where one is like live for today and some are planned for the future, and you got to find that balance. Do you kind of go into that about kind of finding that balance?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like a marriage counselor.
Yeah, I know that's part of it.
Sure, yeah.
But we do, and it is both, opposites attract. Right?
Yeah.
And so you have one person who wants to just, keep rolling the dice on the investment side, and the other person's like, no, this is time to. So, and you know what? There's a place for both, really. We don't want to have all of our money in something secure and have no gain. So there's usually a balance there.
Absolutely. And people can get all these questions answered when they kind of meet with you, and you have different seminars always popping up. But if they're interested in reading the book, there is a way for them to get that first chapter for free, correct?
Yeah, so you just go to our website at rockfordretirement.com, and there's a button there where you can download the first chapter for free. And if you like that and you're interested in the rest of the book, just give us a call. And if you're local, and we'll probably just end up sending you one.
Oh, okay, very good. And as you can tell, it's not like a heavy read.
No, it's a good length that you're not going to get exhausted reading. I know that can be hard sometimes, but it's engaging throughout too, because you really touch on so many things that different people worry about at really different stages as they're preparing for retirement, correct?
Exactly, yeah. And then there's a lot of unique ideas in there too, just things that I've come across over 30 years of doing this that maybe you wouldn't have even been exposed to had you, not picked up the book. So I think it's a good read. It's certainly a good place to start for people who are trying to figure all this out.
It's never too early to start planning either, right?
No, in fact, we end up working with a lot of our clients' children because once they see all that's involved, they say, man, I want to make sure my kid doesn't have to go through this. If they plan ahead, they'll be so much better off. So they bring their kids in, and we end up helping them too. So yeah, so the younger the better, really.
Sure. And you said you could call if you're interested after getting the free chapter. What is that number that you call?
Yeah, it's 815-633-9595.
Okay.
It's been our number for a long time, and
There we have the number on the screen now. So yeah.
Perfect.
So you have it for even folks at home that are watching. Give them a call. Any questions that you might have, they'll be able to sit down with you, work with you, try to help you out the best way that they can. You guys also host kind of different events throughout too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
We're
can
always
stay
doing.
peeled for those.
We do a lot of library classes that are free. So keep an eye out for that. If you go to the website and you order the first chapter, you'll end up on my email list, and then we'll let you know what's coming up and invite you to some of our classes that we teach around town.
Great way to stay connected and all of that. So if
Yeah,
you're
for
interested in
sure.
that first free chapter, all you got to do is go online and get it right there. And then you can also get a phone call, get going, and see how Tony can probably help you or give you some education if you just need that to start things before you get deep into the planning. Or if you're ready to retire next week, I mean, he'll still help you.
Yeah, okay. I'm close. I'm not that close. I wish I was that close.
Right.
But I know you have a phrase, tactical investing. So I'm interested to hear what that kind of is about by reading the book.
There
for
you go.
sure.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks, Tony. Again, we have that number where you can go, 815-633-9595, a website as well, financialadvisorrockfordillinois.com.